Good morning, and welcome back to Peace in Motion. It's a real joy to be with so many of you again, continuing a journey that we began together not long ago. Some of you were with us in April when we opened PII's Cooperative for Humanity to the world. And others are joining for the first time, and to all of you, welcome. Several years ago at our convening at the United Nations, we introduced a bold proposition. Peace is not simply the absence of conflict, but something that we must intentionally construct. Over time, that proposition became what we now call the DNA of peace. 4 interconnected pillars: health and well-being, education, culture, environment and energy, and innovation and infrastructure. Our launch webinar introduced all 4. This digital salon series is where we go deeper, one pillar at a time. Today, we turn to the pillar of education and culture. Of all the 4 pillars, this is the one where I believe that hope is made or lost, because it's where we teach the next generation what to believe is possible. Hope is not naive, and it's not passive. In a world shaped by polarization and fragmentation, hope is a discipline, the determination to keep building when cynicism would have us stop. I've come to think of hope as a bridge, the bridge between the peace, that we imagine and the peace that we construct. Nowhere is that bridge built more deliberately than in education and culture, in the classrooms, in stories, and the values that we hand from one generation to the next. Peace that endures is a peace that is taught, modeled, and inherited. And that's exactly what today's conversation will explore. Our moderator, the marvelous Lindsay Howard, and our speakers, Yakub Matthew, Donetta Campbell, Gina Otto, and Stephen Hecht, bring us voices from cultural diplomacy, civic learning, and storytelling. And together they will help us understand how hope becomes something that we teach, something the next generation can carry forward. All of us are on a hero's journey, our great call to adventure, and our destiny together. From the ordinary to the extraordinary, we have really reached a point, almost unfortunately, of no return. We are now trying to cross over the threshold to enlightenment. Individual, inner, outer, and universal. And with all of that, we need hope. So with hope, and with real gratitude for all of you joining us today, it is now my pleasure to hand things over to my son, Gordon Winston, the co-founder of the Peace Innovation Initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom, and thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I've spent my whole life around this idea that peace isn't inherited by accident. It's built on purpose by people who choose to teach it. I didn't learn that in a classroom. I learned it around the dinner table, listening to my mom talk about a promise she made years ago. That promise became the DNA of peace, and now years later, I get the privilege to help build the infrastructure that carries it forward with individuals like yourselves. All those here dedicated and action-oriented. That's really what education and culture is about, in my experience. Peace isn't just a value someone tells you about, it's a value someone lives out in front of you until it becomes yours too, whether soft peace or hard peace. So when I look at today's panel, Yakub, Donetta, Gina, and Stephen, I don't just see 4 global ambassadors. I see 4 inspiring people do what my mother did for me, making peace visible, teachable, and tangible. Our job at PII, increasingly through our Cooperative Humanity, is to build a system that let the kind of teaching scale past a single family, a single classroom, a single country. That's the innovation challenge underneath everything we do. How do we take something as personal as hope, pass from one generation to the next, and build the infrastructure to carry it to millions and tens of millions of people or more? That's a question I think about constantly, and it's part of why this digital salon series matters so much to me. Each of these conversations is, in a small way, a piece of that infrastructure, a way of connecting people who are already doing this work so their ideas can travel further than they could on their own. That's what today's conversation is really about. I couldn't be more glad to hand it over to someone who spent her career thinking about exactly these questions. Lindsay, over to you, and thank you. Thank you. I want to thank everyone who joined us today. Of course, to the esteemed panel, the moderator, and those participating from broad and wide. Listening to this conversation, I keep coming back to something practical based upon everything we heard today about teaching hope, about carrying culture and values, about education as the place where either takes root or it doesn't. And of course, it all depends on infrastructure. Not the kind of infrastructure that I usually talk about in my work, but a different kind. The institutions, the platforms, the relationships that let one generation's values actually reach the next day after day. That's really the work of the Cooperative for Humanity. It isn't just a network. It's the connective tissue that lets a teacher in one part of the world learn from a storyteller in another, that lets a global ambassador's ideas travel further than any of their own over communities, other than by itself. And if education and culture is where hope is made, this cooperative is one of the ways we make sure it doesn't stay in just one place. It becomes dynamic. That's the part of the work that I find most exciting, not just the ideas themselves, but actually building the systems that carry them. And collectively, through this salon and the extension of it to those of you who have participated in this, I believe that we can make the world a better place. And with that, I'll turn it over to my mom.
Wow, what a panel. What inspiration. What innovation. What fantastic ideas. Donetta, your wonderful examples that you have given. Gina, breathtaking. Stephen, each of you, and Jakub, you're each jewels. Each of you illuminate light. The idea that we have to get this critical mass. So we have, as Gina says, this irresistible force of determination to change the tide. And we can do that. As I said in the beginning, we are all on a hero's journey. All of us. We want to seek the infinite. We want to have peace in our heart. We want to absolve ourselves of fear and terror for ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, for humanity itself. So I just want to say to all of you, I thank you so much, Lindsay. Again, magnificent, magnificent guidance in this conversation. And to each of you, Jakub and Donetta, Stephen, Gina, my beloveds, I thank you so much. Before we close, though, to our wonderful audience that has participated, I want to ask something of each of you. And as Donetta said, take one thing that you heard today, share it with a colleague, a student, a neighbor, invite them into this work, not just to hear about it, but to join it. Join it with their heart and their soul, and take this conversation, reverberate it throughout all of the people that you come in contact with. Stay connected, please, through our Cooperative for Humanity, and keep it going in your own circles, because each of you has your own network and your own universe. We have more of this series ahead of us and more work to do together, of course, between now and this 18-month window that we've given ourselves to start with. I want to thank all of you for being here today. I want to thank you for your voices. I want to thank you for staying engaged in this. And Godspeed. We'll see you at the next salon. Thank you, and thank you.